Hello everyone. This is episode 4 for Precision Parkour Podcast, and we have the one and only Mr. Jesse Turner.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Nice to meet
Actually, I have a
you.
first question. Why
Yeah.
why Mr. Jesse? How did it all start?
Yeah. That actually was just the Instagram name. I'm pretty sure I had I had an Instagram account. It was just like a basic one. One of my mates was like, "Hey, have you thought about jumping on there?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, right. I'll check it out." And I just had one of those stupid names that we all start off with. I think it was like JE55_1 or something like that. And it was pretty hard to find. Like, how are you supposed to find that? So yeah, it kind of got to a point where it was like, oh, if a few people want to see what I'm doing, I might change the name. And my email was Mr. Jesse Turner. I thought I'd just keep it that.
Yeah, that sounds actually pretty professional. Since I saw since 2009, I believe. Even the first videos, like you were 19, 20, about that time, and all your
Yeah.
videos look very professional. Like looks
Yeah.
like you are trying to get jobs and work from your videos, not just having fun.
Yeah, definitely. That was a big aim of mine, actually. Yeah, I started down in Adelaide, so that was South Australia, and there wasn't a whole lot going on down there. And I really loved parkour free running as my passion. So there's a lot of people around me. I was inspired by, and then I love to inspire them with the movement. So I thought, well, it'd be cool to do something where I actually got paid as well to do what I love. And the only option really I had at the time was getting into stunts. So a lot of my videos were sort of edited in a way where I might be able to get some work from it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I do feel that vibe in the videos. Like it looked
Yeah.
very professional even from the beginning.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I loved the whole process of it. I had a lot of friends and family help me out with filming. And then when it came to the editing process, I just gave that a crack myself, and I have been doing that for a long time, getting some ideas from other people. Other people give me some tips, and then I just try and put it all together myself and see how it goes.
Awesome. So, like editing all the videos by yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah. Some like it's pretty funny
Awesome.
going back to the old school ones and then seeing the new ones. So
Yeah,
different.
the timeless video with the old school transitions.
Yeah, that's it.
That
That
was
was a good
like
fun.
7 8 years ago,
Yeah, that
but
was back in
that
like
still has
20.
some pretty
Yeah,
good
2000.
action shots.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was back in 2011. So yeah, a long time ago, about 8 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But
crazy. When did you start?
I started my, I guess my passion in this stuff came along. I'm trying to remember now. It was about 2005. Sorry, 2005 was when I started, and before that, like 03, 04, I was super inspired by Jackie Chan, Spider Man, watching James Bond and all that sort of stuff. There was so much action in those movies where I'm like, man, I want to do some of this stuff. So
So,
Yeah,
like
that's
paying
yeah,
great.
attention to the stunts and everything like that from the start.
what's that? Sorry.
Like you always put more eye on the stunts than the movies. Like that's how you like became passionate about stunting.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I think yeah, just bits and pieces I'd seen from those, like even just watching cartoons like Ninja Turtles and things like that. I was like, man, these guys move so good. And then
like
I think I saw like some random video online where some guy did a wall flip, and it was before YouTube. So I saw that. Man, I want to try that. And then it wasn't sort of until a little bit later, guys started to put stuff on YouTube. So I saw David Bell's his video, and then there was Three Run with the evolution video. Like they really
yeah,
got me
yeah.
Oh
going.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So and then of course you had all the other guys after that. So like Daniel Abaka and I think Ryan Ball came after, and they were pretty much all at the same time. It's just how I saw them. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
first
yeah.
saw David Bell, Sebastian Foucan. Watching was it Jump London and Jump Britain and all that sort of stuff. And then
Okay.
Evolution and all that came up as well. So yeah, man, it was. Oh, It's
Yeah,
so cool looking back.
it's weird hearing like times before YouTube.
It's weird, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even yeah, it wasn't even a thing. Like we used to just my stomping grounds back down in Adelaide, you know, we'd barely watch anything. Like I said before, YouTube was just a couple little videos we watched. We got inspired by some guy doing just a wall flip. That was it. then, and then next thing you know, we're like doing backflips off a fence in the school.
Yeah, I recall
so
my first inspiration was the freerun video. I think the Armitage brothers did that, like a wall flip, one
yep,
over another on a
yeah,
slanted
yeah,
wall. That's also from
yeah,
like 2009 or 10.
yeah. That was really cool. It's cool to see. I think it was Chase and Cole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I haven't spoken to Chase for a while. Actually, it'd be cool to give him a chat, give him a call, and see how he's been going. Have a chat.
Yeah, it would be nice to invite him on the podcast also. I think I have it in the list of people I would like to see on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely hit him up. Like he's always keen for a chat, from what I know.
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it looks like he's been away, like around like for forever, like 15, 16 years.
oh, long time, and it's such a long time that so many people grow. Even myself, like you know, times change. Like now we've got like a 13-week-old baby now, little Cruz. So it's you know, having time to train, it just changes things. Like going from training every day to trying to prioritize and schedule your days a little bit more instead of being so, you know, like Peter Pan and free to do whatever you want. You've actually got to bring in a bit of a schedule and have a bit of time management, otherwise nothing gets done.
Were you expecting that big of a change?
Oh, was it? Yeah, it's a bit of a change. Like I knew that I knew it was what to be expected to a certain degree, but yeah, there was definitely a few things that changed in our life which were for the better, and yeah, it helps you grow as a person, that's for sure. And you know, you got this little bundle of joy just looking at you with those googly eyes, just like you know, smiling and cackling, and you know, and crying and pooing and all that sort of stuff as well. But you know, you kind of learn to they're depending on you, so you got no choice but to help this little one. You got no, you just have to do it. you can't just leave him.
It's weird to think about since we're still pretty young.
Oh yeah.
yeah, you don't have to worry about it just yet, but
Yeah, but it does sound fun actually, in my
it's
opinion.
fun, man. And it's one of those things where people are like, oh, you're gonna get him jumping and doing parkour and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, look, I never got forced into it. I just did it because I loved it. So if he sees dad jumping around at the park, he's more than likely just gonna copy me anyway. So I'm not gonna be forcing that on him. He's just gonna probably just do
It's gonna
just
be
for
more
fun.
natural way.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
make it
like this
natural.
perspective.
It's the best way to do it. If we're going into you know, training schedules when he's 5 years old, wake up at 6 every morning, we're doing this, he's going to hate it.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw you already skating with him.
yeah, I don't think my wife was impressed with no, she was all cool. She was like, just be careful. like,
Yeah, I
yeah.
saw you started like a vlog type of videos, hashtag parkour dad.
yeah, I have. Yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. I haven't actually done. I left YouTube alone for a little bit and just focused on a bit of the Instagram stuff. And I was working away. You know, I've had a bit of less time to do show reels and big YouTube videos, and I've seen a lot of people do vlogs and things like that. I thought, oh, I might give it a go and just put an extra twist to it with the family life, so people get an idea of what that's like in my world. So yeah, I thought I'd give it a go, and seems to be going all right. It's for me, it's not just about the views and stuff. It's just about getting out there, having a go, and you know, there's people that are following your journey, so and you know they get inspired by what you're doing,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know
There's
sometimes I just
always
want to
gonna
join
be
in,
people
and
who's gonna love that.
yeah, there's you know not everyone's in the same boat as me, but there's definitely a lot of dads out there that maybe they just don't feel like they're you know they're cutting it or they're not getting far. So I just thought it'd be cool. It'd be cool to like put up something where you know gets people going. I've actually met a few dads along the way. One of the guys has got a hashtag. It's dads chasing goals. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
no, a lot of freerunners from the old times, like the initial freerunners, are having kids right now.
Yeah, I
like
know.
guys
I think
from
one of the
Airwhip,
yep. Who else
Jason
was that?
Paul.
Jason Paul. Yeah, actually, he
Yeah.
hit me up. He's like, "Let's get this." Like, as in, like, this is going to be a fun journey. I've been keen
For
to actually hit
sure.
him up and see. I don't know if it'd be awesome to do like a collab with him because I know he's doing something pretty similar at the moment. So yeah, we'll hit him up and see what's going on.
Awesome.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds fun. Like talking about your YouTube videos, like we discussed on the last podcast,
yeah,
Instagram versus YouTube. And
yeah,
at this time, a lot of people just post Instagram videos at the same day, like they trained, and
yeah,
most of the videos are get forgotten. Do you agree on that?
yeah.
Like, do you prefer
Definitely.
YouTube videos?
Yeah, look, it's a tough one. I think the times have changed over, this course of time. Like since I started back, my first YouTube video I think was back in '09, and it's pretty old school. But people would sort of subscribe to you, and they're loyal, and they would just stick with you, and wait till the next year where you released another big video. So it wasn't like every day. It was you look
Yeah,
forward to a
show
big
reels
video
once a year.
once a year, which was pretty cool for that aspect where people would really look forward to it. Whereas nowadays it's just so cluttered with crap that it's hard to sort of stick with, I guess, certain guys. I don't know. I'm just saying this from my point of view. Everyone's probably different, but I do find it gets all cluttered and people get mixed up with a whole bunch of stuff. Not just YouTube, but definitely Instagram now. Like you said, it's getting to a point where it's a lot of stuff's recycled and it's just one video after another, and it gets lost in the whole web. Like yeah, people forget about
Yeah.
things. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
So maybe like, do you prefer like Instagram videos to be edited with like all the effects and transitions, or to keep it simple, like the
I
training
think
from this day?
I think simplicity on Instagram seems to be the way to go. Just
Okay.
keep it to your style. Like you sort of after a while, you get a little style about
Oh
yourself,
yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone has their little thing. Like my thing is pretty much parkour, stunts, and a bit of lifestyle in there too.
Yeah.
So some guys are just solely parkour training, some guys just free running. Everyone's all doing something a bit different, and everyone's got their own style, which is amazing. But yeah, Instagram I think is pretty cool when it's just
Simple
simple,
stuff.
and then YouTube's like if people want to see more, like you can hone in on those YouTube videos and look at the behind the scenes, their lifestyle. I do like YouTube for that because you engage. I feel like you engage a lot more. You're invested in the creator.
Oh yeah.
You
Like
know what I mean? So I don't
what
know. What do you
yeah,
guys
what it
reckon?
took. I think it's like it's real nice to see from me like all the behind the scenes, what like all the camera work was going about, like what the athletes were thinking about their like runs when you're telling the stories and everything like that. And it's
Yeah.
pretty sad that you can't see all those behind the scenes in the Instagram where you have like limited time, 1 minute.
Yeah, it's just a little snippet, really, isn't it? Like, it's just a small piece of what people are doing, but sometimes I guess it can be um, just a little bit unrealistic for new people. So
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
that's what I've kind of felt. Some people, it's like when you see all the good stuff all the time, it's like yeah, sick, but then some people just never show their bails and things like that. It's like well, it normally has taken 50 goes to try and get this trick. So like maybe
Yeah.
show the audience a bit of that stuff, and I feel like you can do a bit of that on Instagram, but you can do a lot more of it on YouTube with the longer videos.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
it feels nice to watch you like feel the what the athlete feels. I don't know how to like express myself,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think you get it.
I know what you mean. Yeah, you go a bit more deeper into the athlete and see what's actually going on and how long it
Yeah,
takes to
better.
get things. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, talking about
Yeah,
the social media side of things, I heard
yeah.
you started TikTok.
Oh yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. I don't know too much about it. You guys probably know more than me. Like,
Actually, myself started
obviously,
like a couple of weeks ago,
yeah.
so still trying it out.
I
Is it
still
pretty
don't
much?
have.
So yeah, I don't think it really matters. So like, it looks like it's just nothing serious for me. But yeah, is it like it looks like it's Instagram before it got taken over by Facebook and all, big companies promoting their products and things like that. It looks like it's just a basic sort of website. What do you guys think? Do you know much about it?
Well, me personally, I think it's a like a new way to be creative in a way. Like it has a lot
Yeah,
of creative content, not
yeah,
things you see on Instagram on YouTube, but yeah,
yeah. It's a bit more
it's easy to
fun by the
make
look of it.
and it's more pure, I believe.
More pure.
The TikTok.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, I just had a bit of fun with my bro the other day, just jumping in the pool. So like, I thought I'll just chuck up some random stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking in the future it'll just be a little bit of a page of random stuff that you wouldn't normally see. I'll get a little bit creative and see
yeah.
what comes
These
of
videos
it.
that don't really get posted from your phone will go there, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much. You're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to put that on Instagram, but TikTok, that's perfect.
But you can feel like the personality in those videos. Like everyone is sharing not the perfect videos, but all the like shitty ones, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely some funny things on there. I went through it and had a look with my brother the other day, and yeah, we had a bit of a laugh because there's so many funny things on there you wouldn't normally see. So I don't think it's a bad thing. But I will say the only bad thing for me is, like I said, I don't have all the time in the world now with a little one and a family, so it's pretty hard to go and do Instagram, YouTube, you got Facebook, TikTok, like all these, there's so
Yeah,
many platforms nowadays. You kind of got to pick something and stick with it. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Definitely, it's very time consuming. If you don't have a whole lot going on, it's great. But I feel like, I don't really want to be on the screen all my life.
yeah,
Okay,
for sure, for
fair
sure.
enough.
Yeah, I don't know if that's something that resonates with you guys, but for me personally, I think it's good for a bit, but it can take up so much of your time, and um, yeah, it can
Yeah,
get in the
but
way of
but
your life.
having a
Yeah,
social media presence is, I believe, very important in this world. If you're not on social media, you're pretty much non-existent for the
it's
world.
it's sad, isn't it? Yeah, it's gone to that
Yeah,
point. See, when I
but
started, it wasn't like that at all, but it is now. So yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is having that balance is very important.
yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
Being happy
definitely
is number
fits.
one.
Being happy is number one, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Uh,
but
you're
yeah,
full
no.
full. Are you a full time stuntman at this moment?
Yeah, so it's been fun, man. It's a roller coaster with stunts. It's always up and down. So you get full time jobs, then it goes part time, and then sometimes you get little jobs. Like recent one I just did was a commercial that was filmed in Brisbane. So that was really fun. Actually, I had to do just some basic parkour stuff in a cricket outfit. Yeah, so
Well,
it was different. I actually had a good mate of mine I hadn't seen in a long time. He managed to get the gig, and he's more of a tricker. He's a he's
Yeah,
a professional
okay.
tricker. His name's Phil Gibbs. Have you heard of Phil Gibbs?
yeah, I heard about him.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
man.
course.
So he's a legend down our way, and he managed to get the gig with me, and I was like, "No way, Phil, what's up?" He's like, "Man, I don't know what I'm doing here, man." But we had to jump off this ledge, like it's a perfect front flip height, so you can imagine sort of that
Like
like
a
a
cricket cartoon.
on top of a first story with a railing, so it was a good height, at least 12 foot, 14 foot,
Oh,
and
nice.
so we were looking at that. They just wanted to set it up so that we could just jump onto these pads. They like to make it safe so that we can do it a couple of times. Um,
Okay.
that's what we ended up doing. We had to jump over this rail, and he hadn't actually jumped a rail for a while, so he went for. I just said just do a basic sort of speed vault and just sort of relax and go with
Yeah,
let
yeah,
gravity
yeah.
take you down. Just don't try too hard. And
And
he
he's a
sort of
tricker,
flat.
right?
Yeah, so he hasn't done this stuff for like ages. He used to do it like when he first started, and he sort of flared a little bit. And I was like, oh, dude, I'll give you a quick tip here. Just do this, this, and this. And he fixed it up quick, smart. So he did his speed vault, and then I had to sort of. This is the hardest bit about stunt stuff, and it's such a simple gig, but they they said, "Oh, can you put your other legs? Can you, when you go over, put your legs on one side?" So, say Phil's going speedboat left side, I'm gonna go right. But then they go, "Oh no, that doesn't look right. It looks too the same. Can you change up the movement?" So I'm like, "All right, well, how about I just chuck a front flip?" The coordinator's like, "Yeah, go for a fronty. That'll be sick." So I do a front flip, and they're like, "Too much, too much, too much."
They say too
So,
much.
yeah, too much.
Oh wow, why?
And I'm just like, all right, I'll dial it back a little bit. And I just did a Kong. So, just Kong's the rail. And they're like, yeah, nah, can you do something different? And I was like, oh, okay, something different. So I ended up doing a reverse vault, just a reversey. And,
Okay.
and I went the opposite way to what Phil was going. And it worked out sweet. So, it's a bit of back and forth there. It took a little bit, but then, you just kind of work with them and have a couple of moves under your belt and, got the job done pretty sweet, pretty smooth and
Awesome.
safe. So, yeah, it's interesting when you're working with directors and coordinators because some know exactly what they want and then others don't really know. So they're just, getting their feelers out there and asking you to do a couple of things so that they get an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, talking about stunt work, just want to give some value to our listeners. Like, what would you say, like, the best tips for people who want to go into stunt work? How would they approach that?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Look, it's a bit different everywhere you go. In Australia and like UK, there's a grading system. So if you're in those countries, it's definitely worth jumping on the grading uh, and getting that done ASAP. That way you get to meet people in the unions and stuff, and other stunt guys, and you can sort of build up relationships and communicate with other people and build up your skills slowly there. So that's a good way to start. What else is there?
Like
I
I've
think
read somewhere. Okay.
what's that? What's that? Sorry.
Like I've read somewhere that the professional stuntman has to have like 3 or 4 categories in with the like I don't know how to say like winnings like for the cars like we have to win a some kind of the race to become like a
Yeah,
professional stuntman.
yeah, that's
Is
correct
that true?
actually. So in the grading, I know in Australia you've got like a couple of different categories. I'm trying to remember them now. It's been a while. You got body control,
Okay.
water, heights,
Fire.
vehicles, fire, animals. So there's a couple of different ones. Fire actually comes later when you're a stunt actor. So in the beginning, you don't have to worry too much about that, but it's good to get the experience.
Okay.
And you've got to have at least, one skill in each of those categories. I think 4 out of the 5 to start with. Obviously,
Okay.
the more you can do, the better. So you get that stuff done. But in my experience, a lot of coordinators get you on your speciality skills. So, or on your specialty skills. So, mine was obviously parkour and free running. So a lot of the jobs that I've got have been based around that, and then also your reactions and taking recs.
Okay.
For other people, their skill might be martial arts. So a lot of the jobs that they get are going to be more based around those martial arts roles.
Okay.
Um,
So you get like specified about your like thing that you do best.
Say that again, sorry.
So like you're always gonna get more jobs around something you like do the best, like free running or martial arts
Yeah,
or like.
that's from
Okay.
what I've seen in my experience. Yeah, a lot of people, they're known for something, they're known for a certain skill. So you can try be an all rounder, but a lot of the time you're going to have a coordinator look at you like, yeah, sweet, you're this guy, you're the parkour guy. We need you to be able to do this.
Okay.
We've got a high falls expert here. He's doing this. So they normally use the best man for the job. But sometimes, if you're skilled in multiple areas, they'll get you doing a couple other things too. So it really depends on who you're working with because every coordinator is different. Every crew works a bit differently as well.
Okay. So, I
Yeah,
wanted to ask you like, what was the scariest challenge you have to overcome in the movie?
scariest challenge. Ooh. There's been some. There's been some good ones. I think one of the most challenging ones that I've done was actually in the previous stage for Suicide Squad.
Okay.
So this is like the ideas stage. We're coming up with the ideas, and we want to get some good content together to send to the director and show him what we're coming up with for action. And they've got
Okay.
to sort out whether they want that or not. Anyway, so we had to basically we're in a big warehouse.
Okay.
There was like two cars, and I on my side there I had to speed vault the car, but it wasn't just speed vault the car. Like when I'll go back right to the start. So when they said 3, 2, 1, action, we
Okay.
were in like an outfit. We had like 5 layers of clothing on because we were on fire. So as soon as we walked forward shooting a
Oh.
gun, we go over these
Okay.
gas lines, and one of the guys on the side lights us up. So we're on fire shooting a gun, and then bang, as soon as we get past
Fuck.
this certain point, we had to run, and we're on wires as well. So I've had to sort of
Oh.
jump over this car, get hold a little bit with the wire, so the timing had to be perfect, and then come down, take a
Yeah.
reaction. So it's like we've gotten shot in the head, and then we take the wreck, we fall down the ground, and then he yelled cut, and then we had to run into this little kiddie pool and put ourselves out.
Oh shit. That's pretty
Yeah, so you
hardcore.
could imagine, like, if you try and picture all that, it's we're doing wire work, adding in the parkour element. You're on fire, you're shooting
All at
guns
once.
all at once. So, yeah, you had a lot to think about, and you're so restricted with
Damn.
your clothing, and you don't want to be sort of waiting too long, so you want to jump in the pool as quickly as possible, put
Yeah.
yourself out. You know what I mean? So
Is
Yeah.
that video on your recent showreel? I think I saw
it's
3 guys
on one
jumping
of
over cars
the
on fire.
yeah. There is. I think it was my 2016 one. There's a lot of stuff in there, and I think that's in there actually.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have
so
to
it's
check.
definitely worth checking that one out. You get a little snippet of what that was like. But yeah, man, that was pretty hectic.
Sounds
I was
crazy.
I was pretty stoked to be able to jump on board and do that. It really pushes the boundaries mentally as well. What you're actually capable of. So I guess for me, for that, a lot of the parkour training helped because not just physically being able to leap and bound, just mentally being able to concentrate, focus, and commit 100%. That training with parkour has helped me a lot over the years. Mm,
Awesome. Yeah, like talking
yeah,
about Suicide Squad, did you do a lot of stunts for that?
yeah, we did. We were the main stunt crew on that one. That was one of my favorite jobs. So yeah, from start to finish, we jumped on board there and did all the action that you pretty much see. I think there was like one last battle where they did a lot of that in LA. We did small amounts of stuff for LA. We were just in. That's right. We did motion capture. So I did a little bit of motion
Oh,
capture for the Aliens and for Batman in LA there, but most of it was sort of live action filmed in Toronto, Canada.
Awesome.
awesome.
How, like,
Yeah.
did it pay you well? Can you say the amount of money?
Oh, I can't remember the amount to be honest, but yeah, they paid really well.
Like, what's the biggest
um,
biggest amount you've got for
ooh,
one job?
look, it's pretty interesting that stuff because but there was the first big job that I ever got was in Thailand, and you can imagine this like when I'm your age, I was getting 5 grand a day, and I did 3 days work. That was pretty good.
Shit.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Do you
With
remember like your
that.
first stunt job?
That was my first big stunt job. Yeah.
Awesome. Like,
And that was one of those sort of jobs that it doesn't happen all the time, but I was very appreciative that I got that one. It was fun. It was exciting. Got to work with an international team, and yeah, you get a few rewards at the end of the day, and that's one of them.
Yeah, where did they find you? Like, what's the channel they saw you?
Well, originally I think they were after Damien Walters, and
Okay.
somehow my name got brought up. I don't know. I think they saw it on YouTube or something. My stuff on YouTube, maybe. Yeah. So they wanted someone similar, and yeah, my name got put in the hat there and drawn out. So yeah, I was very thankful.
Yeah, like I mentioned, when you like in this time, you have to put yourself out on the social media, since if not that, you're just invisible pretty much for all others.
Yeah, you definitely speak a bit of truth there. Like a lot of my work has come from having some videos online, and one of the biggest things, it's not just having the video up; it's doing the follow-ups as well. So commenting back to people, messaging guys, and emailing out your videos to people in the industry to actually help you get some work. Otherwise, you sort of just sit there and
Yeah,
it
for
doesn't do
sure,
anything.
for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. It's definitely rewarding, and I do enjoy it, still do. And yeah, like a lot of the actually going back a little bit here, I did hit a
Okay.
stage where it was all about trying to find work. I was working, doing what I love, but I got to a point where I was doing it so much that I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying my passion in parkour, so I had
Okay.
to dial it back a bit there at one point, and yeah, I stopped. I had a bit of time for
Yeah.
myself to just chill out
Yeah, it's great
and
that you did that.
yeah, kind of just dial it back and go back to old training methods. You know what I mean? Just training by myself, back down in the park, doing some solo training, and then going back out to the city and training with the boys and
Yeah,
in
just
there.
training
And
without any purpose, pretty much.
yeah, training for the love of it again. Going back to my passion, it was good. I got inspired by the boys again, and realized why I got into stunts in the first place. So it was good to do that. Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you enjoy training by yourself?
I do. Yeah, it is good. I love both aspects. I love individual and group, but
Oh
it is
yeah,
good to do. Yeah, it's good to do both. I think mix it up. Solo always sort of tests you because you're not getting pushed by anyone. You're just doing it because you can. You know what I mean? You're not getting
Yeah.
forced into any dodgy situations. You're doing it because you can physically and mentally on your own.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes in a group you do get pushed, which is great. But sometimes you can get pushed, and it's good. I'm not
Too
saying it's
much.
bad to get pushed beyond your limits. It is good, but you got to be good at assessing the risk and calculating it well. But we all fall, and you know
yeah,
it
that's
is
true.
good to fall sometimes in it because you pick yourself back up and keep moving forward.
Yeah, motivational. Like,
Definitely.
what's your biggest fail? Like, you would remember
Biggest fail. I was
talking
waiting for
about
this question.
that. That's actually not the
uh,
topic I'm very keen to discuss on, because when you watch
yeah,
too many fail videos, your mental like commitment is getting a bit worse. These things get in
yeah,
your
it
mind
can.
before doing any flips, tricks.
It definitely puts you back a few steps. But look, my biggest, I think actually my first big fail was when I was 17, and I was in between like these two walls, and I've gone for just a 360 arm jump, and I didn't
Okay.
even. This is so bad. I didn't even practice this move. I just thought, yeah, sweet, I can do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it today. So
That's
I went
above
up there.
concrete.
It was about story and a half high, I think, about yeah, just a bit over a story. Um, and I was jumping from up, sort of. How do you explain it? Like I'm on top of the building, and the other building was level with the one I was standing on. So that
Oh,
meant I
okay.
was actually falling down, and I wasn't strong enough to hold my weight properly from that move. So I've missed it completely and fell straight down and broke my wrists in three places. So
Oh.
that was a good wake up call for Jesse, that's for sure.
So you did like bounced off the wall pretty much,
Yeah, I
ripped
just
the wall
bounced
and just
off.
fall on the side.
Yeah, bounced off. I fell straight down,
Oof.
and I put my arm behind me. So,
Yeah. Like, do you
and
do?
I remember just looking at it going, oh! And my uncle's he's just like, oh, it's okay. And I'm looking at it going, clearly this is not okay. I can't remember exactly what I broke, but I think it was like cracked the radius and the scaphoid bone.
Okay.
I think that was something else. I compacted my whole wrist as well, so they had to sort of put it all back together in the hospital.
Did you have any
Yeah.
aftermatch after that? Did it
No,
impact your training a bit?
I was just out for about. It take about 6 weeks to sort of heal up properly, and then you got to build up the strength around it again. So I went through all that, and no, I came back really good. I came back solid. It just made me realize that if you're going for anything sort of slightly outside your skill set, you need to train it in a safer environment and then build up
Yeah,
to
that's
bigger
for sure.
levels, which sounds so basic. Yeah, it's easy to do that, but I didn't. I just, I was a teenager. I thought, yeah, I'm king of the world. I can do this. I don't need any help.
Yeah,
Next thing you know, slam.
especially now when you have a kid and
Oh
you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to take care of yourself even more. Like, do you do any
yeah,
injury prevention, like conditioning, stretching?
yeah. Always stretching, and yeah, like I said, stretching pretty much every day, and I guess a lot of the stunt stuff that I've done over the years has helped me with falling. I guess you learn to fall with style, if you can say that. So when you're doing your parkour and free running training, when things go a little bit wrong, you sort of know where to put your body so that you don't completely smash yourself.
Is there any like techniques for safe falling or something like that?
Yeah, there is. Kind of hard to explain. It's better off showing people, but
Yeah,
obviously with
Oh,
parkour, at least you've got the rolls and things like that. That's a good that breaks your fall really well. Everyone sort of knows that. I try and
yeah.
get that towards the kids that
Actually,
I'm teaching all the time. But there's also there's back rolls, there's the side rolls, there's break falls in general. So you got side break fall, back break fall, front break falls. Learning all that stuff is really important. You can actually learn in certain martial arts and things as well. So definitely
oh
worth
yeah,
looking into when while you're doing your training, so you become a bit more versatile.
yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
think Bob Reese is
Yeah.
talking about that a lot. Like I think it's called Ukemi. Like we discussed this on the previous podcast,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're pretty much learning to fall first before trying the move initially.
Yeah.
You're getting into the worst case scenario first and know how to fall
Yeah.
out of that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Actually, I think I've seen a lot of that in the Parkour EDU. That's what you're talking about, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, those guys do a bit of that training in there. Was that who was the guy you just mentioned? I think that
oh,
was
Bob
Ryan
Reese,
Ford. Bob Reese, yep. Um,
Ryan
yeah, there's a
Ford
couple
also.
other
Yeah,
guys. Yeah, and I think there's another guy that he's teamed up with for the Parkour EDU. Can't remember his name, but yeah, they do a lot of that stuff, which is awesome. Definitely recommend that to anyone starting out and guys that are still just even if you're at a high level, you're sort of already doing that anyway. But I love watching, people like Pasha and those guys as well, because they're constantly putting themselves in random positions and still finding ways to get out of it. So it's, from what I've learned over the years, if you catch yourself in a weird position, you can actually always change it or, move yourself into a spot where it's a bit more safer than what you originally were in that split second. It just takes a bit of training.
yeah. Like it's interesting to see the whole parkour in general. Like at the beginning, it was the conditioning, almost like a main part, walking like
Yeah,
quadruple movement, walking on stairs, on the catwalks, on the rails, and etc. And later,
yeah.
it moved to a just chugging tricks,
Oh
going for
yeah,
huge
totally.
things. And right now, I
Yeah,
believe it got to the point where people are starting to look at it as a sport, and they're becoming real
yeah.
athletes. Conditioning, training,
Oh,
gym sessions, all of that.
yeah, definitely. It's definitely gone to that point. I've seen that whole transition, and you still get guys that still come in and chuck it. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those guys at one point too. I was just chucking stuff, thinking.
When you have a gym, you have
Yeah.
a like a way to check it, not just on sand
Yeah,
or grass like we had to.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot safer these days. You got a lot more training environments to do these things. Yeah, as for myself, when I started, yeah, all I had was grass, sand, and then it was pretty much straight to concrete. So you definitely hit a few bits of concrete very early on.
Sure.
For me though, like I was used to that with skateboarding. I used to skate a lot, so yeah, definitely hit hard a few times on the board. And then when it came to parkour, I'd sort of, I'm not saying it was great falling over. It always sucks, but yeah, you sort of had
It
a bit
wasn't
more of
that
a
hard.
conditioning already for it.
Yeah, like you being already like in skateboarding and parkour as well. Do you feel like parkour is more like a safer to commit to things? Like in skateboarding, it feels like it's
Um,
trial and error. Like you're pretty much chugging the same thing a lot while you until you land. Not like in parkour, you can
yeah,
progress easier.
yeah, I think. I mean, there's so many different levels of skating too. I mean, you got your street skate, and then you've got your, your big ramp, like vert skate. So like, there's guys chucking big tricks, and they've got foam pits and stuff. Same for us, when we're doing tricks, we can actually throw things in the foam pits now, which is amazing.
Yeah,
So I think for me personally, parkour was a bit more natural for me. Skating was hard. There was, some people are really just. I believe everyone's got a natural gift, and skateboarding was not one
yeah,
of those
yeah.
things for me.
No, but you have to try out things to find it.
Yeah, so I gave it a good go. I can still skate like decently, but I fell into parkour a lot better because I already had a strong athletic background, running, climbing, played soccer, basketball, tennis, like all the sports under the sun, and then parkour sort of came in the mix. And then once it became an actual movement, like that was me. I was set. So I was very happy that I had direction very early in my life, which sort of, yeah, it laid out a big course of events in my life, and I'm here where I am now. Like it's been an amazing journey.
Awesome. Like, what's the best thing for you about freerunning?
I think there's just always something new to learn, and so many amazing guys out there you meet along the way. I love the fact that you can travel anywhere, and there's a new sport, and you sort of think of things a little bit differently. Like
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
I just love the fact it's so creative. I think that's what I loved about skateboarding is you could um, go to different spots and come up with random tricks, or try an old trick in a different spot. You know what I mean? It's the same with parkour
Oh
and
yeah,
free running.
yeah.
You look at things differently and go, oh, I haven't tried that here, or I haven't
Yeah,
done that there. How about I look at that? And it's just so creative. I'm such a creative person myself, so um, yeah, I love that aspect. I think it's constantly changing a little bit, and
Hmm.
styles have really starting to come out.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
the last sort of 5 years, it's really exploded. Like everyone's just there's certain people you watch out there that are so different than everyone else. Like I love it.
yes, yes. Like,
Yeah.
since it's still a pretty much young sport, it's really nice to see how it all progresses, and it feels
Yeah,
similar to skateboarding, like
yeah, yeah.
initial steps.
Similar aspects there for sure. Yeah, so the first sort of 10-year period, it's crazy, it's new, it's exciting. It sort of hits a bit of a lull and then picks back up
Yeah,
again. It's one of those things. But for us, that lull, what I'm talking about there is more just in the public eye. It doesn't mean it stops for us guys that love it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, 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 yeah,
whether it's hot on the movies or not, we still enjoy training and doing it for fun anyway. So
for sure. Like, asking from the different side of you, like, what's the worst thing about it? What you
the
don't like
worst
about
thing,
it? Yeah.
ooh, that's an interesting one. I think that's a tough question. Um,
Does it have one actually?
does it even have one? Uh, Look, most of it's been pretty positive from my end. I think, that from the social side with all the videos and all that, I think there's a bit of a negative where it's, a lot of people are all about socials and videos now. That's great. That's great, but it's not all about that. I think if people are really into it, they need to get a bit of both sides there. They need to be able to have that balance of, like I said earlier, doing a bit of the socials and having fun with the videos and looking back at them for later on or for learning. But you also need to just take your mind away from the screen and just enjoy jamming with other guys and, communicating and, not worrying about technology for a bit, if you know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean.
actually one of the things I think that will grow our community, showing other non-free runners how good
Yeah,
it feels just moving around, not jumping
yeah,
from roof to another roof for videos, for
yeah.
likes.
Yeah. Once you sort of get that balance going, I think it's a lot better. So I see that as probably a bit of a downfall at the moment. But yeah, not everyone falls into that category. Like, some people have got their head on straight and they're mixing up quite well. They got a good balance going on. So I think I've just seen that over the last few years that it's happened in my life too. It happens with everyone. We all get stuck on the screen. We all want to just get some videos out there. But yeah, I think at the moment you realise it's not all about that. Things start to work out better for you anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the only thing. I think when I was younger, the whole competition thing was a big deal. Like, you had parkour guys that were totally against it, and you had
Yeah, I
guys that
remember.
loved it. I think it was inevitable. It was going to happen, and I love how it's gone from it was all about your free running competitions to now doing the speed comps. I love jumping in on one of those back in 2016 for that jump off at Apes in Sydney,
Okay.
which I managed to win that one, which is pretty cool.
Amazing.
I think now you've got Brody, he's smashing it now, like the Wilson
With
twin.
the dive roll like this year.
Oh, bro, that was sick. Yeah, so like I think my favorite comp is speed runs and the what's the other one that's
The skill one,
challenges?
yeah.
Skill one.
Skills. Yeah, I think I love free running, but it's very hard to judge, and it's always going to be hickledy pickledy on the day with that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. I don't know how to explain that too well. I think most people get that. Like it's like gymnastics. You get a scorecard, and you get someone feels like it's this, another person feels like it's this.
It's
Whereas with
subjective
a
a
speed
bit.
run, it's like first person over the line. You can't beat that. Like
For sure, yeah.
he's won, he's lost.
Yeah, I think that the problem with the pre-run competitions is that the style ones, it's very subjective. Like the whole judging
Yeah,
system is the same as it was like on the first competition of parkour.
yeah,
Like something has
yeah,
to change to move like subjective things like creativity to some
yeah,
other things. But that's a rant for
yeah. And it's
another
always
whole other day, I think.
yeah, definitely, and it's a tough one. It's going to be a constant battle with that because it's everyone's got a different style, and some people more flowy than others. Some are more creative than others. Some are just very good at executing. Like, it's hard to get a good mix, and it's always going to change and be different. So I feel sorry for the judges
Yeah, I like how NAPC is doing.
and the athletes, but yeah, the judges have got a tough gig there. Like,
Yeah, I like how NAPC is doing. Like they're creating a lot of different events. For example, they
yeah,
took Big Trick as a separate competition, and then
yeah,
they're not judging difficulty as hard than in the style competition. Therefore, they're like it changes the whole thought on your
dynamic.
run. Yeah, the whole dynamic, and
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
liked a bit.
Yeah, no, I definitely love their way of doing things. I agree with you on that. They've got a really good thing going on there, and I hope to see that expand a bit more over the world in different competitions. Like obviously Red Bull's great, but it would be good if they actually mixed it up there with some other things. But I think they're pretty stuck on doing what they're doing, which is great. It leaves it open for places like the one you just spoke about, and I forget
NAPC.
NAPC, that's the one. Yeah. So NAPC. Obviously, you got your air whips and all that other stuff as well. It opens it up for a whole bunch of other companies and places and gyms that are more, about the, parkour free running community and, not stuck in the whole gymnastics world. You know what I mean? Like it's good that we can do that within ourselves and keep that going. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But yeah, definitely, there's been some big moves, big shifts, big changes over the time I've been doing stuff. It's been awesome to see it all grow. It's been awesome to see new generations come in and smash out lines and tricks that you thought were never possible.
Or changing the game.
Maybe I've given a few things a go, and it's taken me ages and ages. Kids just doing it like it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
do you have one athlete that you're following recently?
One athlete I'm following. Man, I'm always loving what Pasha's doing. I love his creativity.
Yeah, congrats, Pasha, on 1 million.
Oh no, man! How cool is that? And I love his He's got the same inspiration for him as for me, which is Buster Keaton, an old school. Does a lot of silent movies and slapstick comedy and things like that.
Yeah.
Sort of like action comedy. I don't know if you've seen his stuff. Pasha just put up a post about him actually, so definitely worth checking that guy out. You can sort of see Pasha's mixing up his free running with some of that old school style. So I really like that. I've actually done a Buster Keaton video a couple of years back, I'm pretty sure. I did a bit of my own style there, but I love what he's been doing. I don't think who else I've been watching. There was a new kid. I can't remember where he's from, but he's an absolute nutter. Verky.
Verky Trake.
Oh
from
man,
UK.
Who the heck does a con gainer precision? Like what the? And I love his cork prees and all that sort of stuff. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I love just seeing what Dom's been up to. Like, man, he's always throwing some crazy something somewhere.
Well, he's
Tends to
doing
be a
that.
front flip.
It's weird. Like he's doing that pretty safely. He knows how to bail pretty much. He bailed so much.
Yeah, he's figured it out pretty sweet. So it's definitely good to watch some of his stuff. I like Tim Champion's got some amazing swings at the moment.
Ooh.
Like far out,
he's crazy.
I think one of my other favorites, I think he's a cool cat, Ed Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're keeping connection with him as well. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he won the NAPC, didn't he?
Yep. He got the Red Bull Art of Motion gift.
Ticket. So definitely love watching what he's been doing. He's got some really cool things going on. But then you got I love watching the Stora dudes doing their thing still. Like they're always doing something fun, exciting in another country. There's so many guys.
So diverse, actually. The whole
you guys remember Pip Anderson?
Yes. I watched his tutorials.
Far out, man. Like I got to train with him, hang out with him years ago, and such a cool guy. I'm pretty sure he had a kid ages ago. So it's been cool to see his journey. He's still training. I don't think he's been going as hard as he used to, which is, that's life. It's, you can't always keep up to a certain level your whole life, but it's been cool to see his transition from, being a crazy athlete to being a dad and still training. It's cool to see.
Yeah, the pip tricks. He's still sending the pretty hard things. I saw like a double gainer, double full gainers.
Yeah, he's still just out of nowhere, right? Just bullshit.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of guys that I still follow. Like, you guys heard of Bogdan?
Bogdan Pascal, something like that.
Yeah, he had some crazy moves, man.
Yeah, at one point I noticed him with his very low palm drops, and I
Yeah,
think it's scoot double corks, master scoot double
yeah,
corks.
yeah. He's just got like he just rips him around
Super
like nothing.
powerful.
It's crazy. Yeah. And then I've got my parkour mates. I'm always following Brody, Dylan, those guys. I've trained with those guys for years actually. Before they even got big on socials, man. Like they were just training in the streets of Brizzy. So we've been hanging out for like 8 years before any of this stuff kicked off. So it's been cool to see them transition from just some local kids training in the
It's
streets
awesome.
and
Yeah.
on a big stage now. So that's been really cool to see that progression. Another guy that I keep in touch with is what's his name? David Nelms.
Yeah, he's powerful.
Dude, such a cool guy. Seems like I haven't actually met him, but we've spoken online and stuff, and it seems like a really nice guy. And watching him smash it over the last 2 years, man, definitely someone to keep an eye on. Like he's got some skill and he's got a good attitude. Yeah,
Yeah. Is he involved
from
in
what I've
video
seen.
edit? I think he's doing video shooting a lot.
Yeah, I think so. On that note too, I've always following like Will Sutton, Daniel Levac, all those guys. Like
Oof.
they've gotten a lot more into their shooting and things like that. But I still just love what they do. They just love life and they're so creative.
Yeah, it feels like they're super happy doing what they love. Like
Yeah, it's
all of their
cool.
training sessions feel like the in the beginning we're just having fun.
Yeah, yeah, that's it, and that's what it's all about. I feel like that's kind of where I was going with the socials slash just jamming with guys. Like just having that good balance there and having fun with it, having fun,
For
enjoying
sure.
the day, and there's. I feel like for me at the moment, there's a time where I'll just go out and not worry about the technology. I'll just go out and train, and then there's a time where I'll go out and actually, okay, I'm gonna go out to film something today. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, how about you guys? Have you guys got any people you've been following? Any guys that you love watching?
There is one guy from I think it's Netherlands, like a kid with glasses. It feels like he looks like a nerd, but on bars he's crazy, doing like full and back outs. I think he's
Yeah,
14.
I think I have seen the same kid, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't recall it. Yeah,
He's
Yeah,
winning a lot of
Joe.
competitions at the moment, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
Joe Scandrett is
yeah.
always something doing crazy things.
Oh, Joe. Yeah, far out. I forgot Joe. Far out his nutcase. His ascents and descents, man. Like what the?
Yeah. Also, this summer
Yeah,
we had like a opportunity to train with Nate Weston. He's also on the rise.
awesome.
Yeah, we were in
Oh,
You
Crab
got to
yeah.
train.
Invaders. Yeah, we were in
You
Crab
guys got to
Invaders this
train with Nate.
summer.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, seeing him training
Um,
is oof, crazy.
he's a nutcase. Yeah, I actually probably should have mentioned his name too because I'm not gonna
He's
lie, I've been
training for
watching
like
a
five
lot of his
years.
videos. I'm always watching his videos. He's a nutcase.
But it's interesting. He's training for like parkour for like 5 or 6 years only.
Yeah, that's amazing actually. Yeah, that's good to see. It's good to hear. It shows people out there that put your mind to something, you can achieve it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So what's your
so
like
that's
future
cool.
plans for parkour for life? More kids?
Definitely, yeah. I think we'd love to have another kid. I think my wife really wants a girl.
How about you?
uh, I'm happy with whatever God gives us. Yeah, it's nice that we've got a little boy there. He's a little superhero. I love him. But if we had another boy, that's cool as well. Like, but yeah, it doesn't phase me whatsoever. I think I'll love him regardless. And future definitely gonna stick to my parkour and free running training. I'll I've got a fair few Parkour Dad episodes in the making. I want to at least get 10 done and see where it goes from there. I might change it up and do something a little bit different. So I'll keep training in my passion, obviously parkour, free running, and the stunts. I'll keep working in film. At this stage, it's going good, so I'll keep pursuing that, and I want to be able to provide for my family, so it's a big thing. So get a bit of money coming in so I can help support our growing family, especially with little one. Like he's a high priority now, and obviously my wife. So keeping that balance, that work-life balance and play, it's hard. It's definitely hard to start with, but it's doable. A lot of guys I've seen do it quite well. So I'm now in that boat of just getting my stuff together and moving forward with life with a family. It's a big adventure, but it's going good.
Awesome, so nice to hear. Like you being in stunt work, do you prepare for a moment where you're not as physically capable? Because that moment will come earlier than other careers.
As in, sort of, you
not
mean
being able to do stunts and flips as well.
Oh, you mean getting to a point where it's like you can't do it forever? Yeah, definitely thought about that. It's definitely there.
Like, do you have any hobbies or things you're going to?
Some other things to do if don't keep doing stunts. The good thing is with stunts, I mean, if you work your way up, you can, I'm a stunt actor at the moment in Australia, but you can actually become like a safety supervisor. You can become a coordinator as well. There's a couple of different paths you can take within stunts.
Okay.
I guess there's always there's the teaching aspect within parkour as well. There's a gym opening up just around the corner from me. The Apes gym in Sydney, they've got 2 down there, and they're opening Apes 3 here in Queensland. So I'll probably be jumping on board there and doing a bit there as well.
Nice.
Really excited about that because we've needed a gym up here that is all about that community. We haven't had that up here for pretty much ever. Like we've got bounce and things like that, but it doesn't have that parkour community feel. They're just out to make a quick buck. So
yeah, it's funny. It's funny hearing that, since in Lithuania we don't even have any indoor gyms, like none.
No,
only outdoors. So we have like a gymnastics gym, but it's not the same as parkour gym, But we're working towards it.
Awesome. Yeah, I really I pray you guys get that because it's such a good thing when you can get the community together to do that sort of stuff in a gym in a safe environment and build that community. We haven't had that here on the Gold Coast like really ever. We've just done a lot of stuff outside as well, so it'd be good to have that base. So that'll be something I can definitely do there. And as for like any future aspirations, I'd love to travel a bit more with a family. That'd be great. Not too sure as to where Stunts is going to take me just yet. So I'll just be focused on that for now. I probably should make a bit of a plan of what I'm going to do after that. The only other thing that's come to mind is joining the firefighting department. When you look back in history with parkour, David Bell's dad was all about that. So I do love the fact that he used his skills in that environment. I can definitely relate to that. I've got 2 mates in the firefighting department in Australia, and I really love what they're doing, and so that could be something I step into later on in life. We'll see what the future holds.
Awesome, amazing. I think let's wrap this up. It's over an hour already.
Oh crap! Yeah, I better get back. I think baby's up and wife's gonna be like, "Hey, where's breakfast?"
Awesome, man. Really, thank you for joining. This was really fun talking to you, meeting you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Really appreciate your time.
Appreciate you guys reaching out to me and having this chat. It's been good. And we'll keep in touch. And if you guys have any questions, just hit me up.
For sure. Let's keep connection. Thank you guys for listening, and see you on the next one.
See ya.
See you guys. See you guys. See you guys. See you guys.